We have an extra segment for you this morning to talk about the 529 plan. That is a way to save money and put money aside for future educational expenditures and much, much more. Jeff Turcotte is joining me remotely this morning, but he's going to be here in Farmington this weekend at Riverfest. Jeff, good morning. Thank you for joining me.
I'm looking forward to coming up to Farmington for Riverfest this weekend.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to having you here to talk about these 529 plans. And you are, I should say, too, your work is with the Educational, let me get this right, the Educational Trust Board of New Mexico. And so that's kind of the state entity that kind of helps coordinate these 529 plans in our state, yes?
Exactly. So we are a very small department of the state government. We, the Education Trust Board, we are the ones in charge of making sure that people know about the 529 and the state-sponsored 529 plans, and which the education plan is more the DIY or the do-it-yourself version, and then Scholar's Edge is sold by your financial advisor. So some folks have a financial advisor that they'd rather use, but others use just the education plan, in which that's our main goal. Since we are not financial advisors, we promote and do outreach and educate people, especially folks in New Mexico, about the benefits of the 529.
Got it. And the 529 is one of the oldest ones, right? That's about 30 years old.
Yeah, we celebrate 30 years. In 1996, Congress came up with the 529, and it's in the ballpark of your 401k, 403b. It's a tax-advantaged savings program, and this came about because college costs were just climbing, and it was making it out of reach. And so in 96, it was all about college, and that has definitely changed over the years to be that the 529 is much more versatile for families. It's not a use it or lose it kind of thing.
Right.
In fact, recently in New Mexico, as far as the tax break, and I'll backtrack a little bit. All money contributed into a state-funded or state-sponsored 529 comes out of your taxable income, state taxable income. So
right.
That's a nice incentive that the state gives New Mexicans, and we're one of the few states that has unlimited numbers per year you can donate in or contribute to that 529. So the money goes into this account. It's managed. You choose your level of risk, if you will, just as if you were doing your 401k. Then it can be used now, starting in kindergarten, kinder through 12, private schools. Tuition and expenses for those schools can now be used. A 529 can be used for that, and so that's K through 12, college, which includes room and board, computers, and other expenses for college, which includes grad school, and also a big push now with seniors graduated from high school. They're not all going to college, and they're all finding really good trade type fields, welding and electrical, and those apprenticeship type expenses can also be used, or 529 can be used for those.
Nice.
Everything that you've grown or in your saved up over those years is not taxed on the way out when you use it, as long as it's for the qualified expenses.
Right.
The latest addition has been last year with the Big Beautiful Bill, the professional development, meaning like continuing education, classes, expenses, accreditation, licensure for your job once you have a career. That's also now part of what you can do.
Nice.
So lots of uses, kindergarten through college, high school, continuing education, classes like that. And then last resort, if you want to, after 15 years, you can roll it into a Roth IRA if it's not used. So there's again, I think when it first started, people had the attitude that it was kind of like a use it or lose it situation, but it really isn't now. And now you have options. You can also change beneficiaries, meaning if you have an account for your son and he decides not to utilize it, the youngest child in the family could possibly use it. Um, I've actually had families that kept it with their son's name, and then he has it, and he's going to give it to his son, so it can be passed down through generations.
Yeah, lots of options, it seems to me. And so I guess for young families that want to put some money aside, this would make sense, even if they don't know what their infant is going to be doing when they get out of high school or even in school, as you said, because these expenses are now okay for private school and things like that. They can be used for a variety of things, is what I'm trying to say. And so you've got another idea of putting away the $5.29 a day. That's another challenge, I guess, to get folks to start saving.
That's a 529, May 29th, 529
Yep.
is a big nationwide blitz with all the 529 plans in the nation having kind of their own thing going on. This is something, if you have an account, that they're challenging everyone to just put $5.29 into the account, or ask someone else to, because you can also gift into these accounts. Every account has a unique called U gift number that could be shared with family and friends, and you can help fund the account as a gift. And of course, the gifts are state tax deductible for New Mexico residents as well.
Sure. Right. Lots of advantages, I guess, to take advantage of these things. And so, again, that's, I guess, what brings you going around the state. You're traveling, I think, to every corner of New Mexico to answer questions and talk to folks like me about these opportunities and to spread the word about these great savings opportunities and what you can use this money for.
Well, yeah, we're definitely, it's an initiative that came about actually before they hired me, and I'm implementing it. And I was in Clovis a couple weeks ago, going to be in Farmington here for the River Fest, and then in a couple weeks in Grants for Spoke 66. So we're trying to find, we want people to know that we are a state agency. We are we're part of higher education department in New Mexico government, and we like to feel like we're part of the team to try to improve the education standing of our state. And people have found that, because studies have shown that if money's into an account, a child knows they have some savings for their future, they tend to do much better in the classroom. And so we want to reach out to all of New Mexico. I'm looking forward to traveling, as you said, all the four corners. I happen to be in the four corners this time. I will be down in the vendors area, apparently,
right?
Riverfest, and I'll try to float around to some of the other events as much as I can. But you can definitely find us there. I'll have a few goodies, and we have a turtle. Teppy the turtle is our mascot, and so the kids love the stickers and the coloring sheets. About I don't know what it is about turtles, but kids really like turtles.
Well, sure. Well, who wouldn't, right? So there you go. Perfect.
Right.
And I know for folks who want more information or maybe to do some more checking, there's a website, of course, that folks can do that and learn more about 529 and the other plans that the state also offers and the other ways that folks can save some money, right? That's also a great way to go get more details and even get signed up, I would think, too, right?
Yes, it's theeducationplan.com, and you can also just Google search New Mexico 529, and you pretty much get where you need to get. And it's a great website, wealth of information, and it's the way to start. And it takes like 10 to 15 minutes to start an account, and doesn't cost. There's no minimum to put in there. You can start with $5. You can have it come every month out of your paycheck, or a paycheck if you have a company that's doing the payroll deposit.
Mm-hmm.
Most people do it out of their checking or savings account with their bank.
Gotcha. Great. Well, it's a great way to get saving and, again, setting money aside. As you mentioned, there's a lot of things you can use that money for, and even, make some changes or what have you. And so it just makes a lot of sense to be able to do that. Looking forward to having you here this weekend at Riverfest, and you can answer many more questions than in person, I guess, right?
Yeah, I really, really appreciate the shout out, and we look forward to seeing you. I'll be there Friday night, all day Saturday and Sunday. through probably mid-afternoon.
Perfect. Very good. Well, Jeff Turcotte, thanks for joining me this morning. Appreciate it very much. Again, you're going to be at Riverfest this weekend, and it's part of the education plan, a small division in the state of New Mexico, but certainly great benefits for folks who take advantage of it. So good talking with you today. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks very much.